Time stops for no one. Each tick of the clock brings with it something precious, a fresh start, a clean slate, a new chance. Right now, at this very moment, you stand at the threshold of possibility. The dawn of today brought you something remarkable. 24 brand new hours unwrapped and ready for you to use. The sunrise for a moment. Every morning, without fail, that golden sphere rises above the horizon. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It doesn't ask for permission. And just like that sunrise, your potential rises anew each day, ready to shine its light on every choice you make. I've watched thousands of people over the years, studying what sets the achievers apart from the dreamers. The single greatest difference isn't talent, education, or luck. It's their understanding that each morning brings a fresh page in their story, waiting to be written by the choices they make. This power, the power to choose your path each day, is life's greatest gift. It's also its most overlooked truth. While others wait for tomorrow, next week, or next year, you have the power to transform your life today, starting with the next choice you make. Each morning when you wake up, life hands you a remarkable gift. 86,400 seconds. Not a single second more, not 1 second less. The wealthy can't buy more of them. The powerful can't command them to slow down. These seconds come to you freely, but once they're gone forever. Now I want you to imagine your bank account being credited with $86,400 every morning. The only catch? You must spend every penny that day. You can't save it. You can't transfer it. Whatever you don't use disappears at midnight. How would you spend that money? Would you waste it? Would you let it slip away on things that don't matter? Of course not. You'd make every dollar count. Your time is far more valuable than money. Yet most people throw away their seconds as if they had an unlimited supply. They say, "I'll start tomorrow," or "There's always next time." But tomorrow is never guaranteed, and those seconds don't roll over. Let me tell you about Sarah, a single mother working as a waitress in Chicago. She looked at her 86,400 seconds differently. While others spent their break time complaining about customers, she spent 30 minutes each day studying business books. She used her commute time to listen to educational audio programs. Within 2 years, she opened her own catering business. Today, she runs 3 successful restaurants. Or take Mike, a janitor at a local high school. Instead of watching TV during his evening hours, he used 3,600 seconds each day, just 1 hour to write. He wrote during lunch breaks after his shift, whenever he could find a moment. Everyone told him he was wasting his time. 4 years later, his first book became a bestseller. He didn't have more time than anyone else. He just used his seconds differently. These aren't stories of privileged people with special advantages. They're stories of ordinary people who understood the value of each second. They realized that small chunks of time, used wisely, add up to extraordinary results. Your own 86,400 seconds. How many do you spend scrolling through social media? How many disappear while you're procrastinating? How many slip away while you're thinking about what you should be doing instead of actually doing it? I'm not suggesting you need to be productive every second. Rest is essential. Relaxation is important. But there's a difference between intentional rest and mindless time wasting. There's a difference between strategic breaks and aimless procrastination. Every second you're alive is a second you can use to move toward your goals. Every minute contains 60 opportunities to make a different choice. Every hour holds 3,600 chances to take a step in a new direction. The beauty of this truth is that it applies to everyone equally. No matter your circumstances, no matter your background, no matter your current situation, you get the same number of seconds each day as everyone else. The only difference is how you choose to use them. Right now, as I speak these words, your bank of 86,400 seconds is being depleted. The question isn't whether you'll spend these seconds, you will. The question is, will you spend them on purpose, with intention, moving toward your goals, or will you let them slip away, never to return? Each day presents you with 86,400 seconds, a fresh bank of time that arrives without fail every morning. Rich or poor, young or old, we all receive this same gift. Nobody gets more. Nobody gets less. The only difference lies in how we use these precious moments. Consider this. If someone gave you $86,400 each morning but took back whatever you hadn't spent by nightfall, how carefully would you spend that money? Would you throw any of it away? Would you leave even a single dollar unspent? Of course not. Yet that's exactly what we do with our time every single day. I met a factory worker named Tom last year. For 20 years he worked the same shift, did the same job, lived the same life. But one day, he made a decision. He decided to use the first 900 seconds of his lunch break, just 15 minutes, to learn Spanish. His co-workers laughed. "What difference will 15 minutes make?" they asked. 1 year later, Tom became his company's primary liaison with their Mexican suppliers, doubling his salary. Then there's Maria, a busy mother of 3 who worked as a checkout clerk at a local grocery store. Every morning, she woke up 1,800 seconds earlier, just 30 minutes, to work on her art. She didn't have a fancy studio or expensive supplies. She had a small desk in her kitchen and determination. Today, her paintings sell for thousands of dollars in galleries across the country. These aren't stories of lucky breaks or overnight success. They're stories of ordinary people who understood a fundamental truth: every second counts. They didn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect opportunity. They took the seconds they had and invested them wisely. Look at your own life. How many seconds slip away each day while you're waiting for the right time to start? How many moments vanish while you're telling yourself tomorrow or someday? Every time you say, "I'll start next week," you're letting 604,800 seconds slip through your fingers. But here's the most important thing about those 86,400 seconds. They don't carry over. You can't save them up for later. You can't borrow from tomorrow. Once they're gone forever. This very second you're listening to my words, it's already past. You'll never get it back. I've studied successful people for decades, and I've noticed something remarkable. They don't necessarily work longer hours. They don't necessarily have more talent. What they do have is an acute awareness of time's value. They understand that every second, even the small ones, especially the small ones, is an opportunity. Water dripping from a faucet. One drop doesn't seem like much. But drop after drop, second after second, it can fill an ocean. Your choices work the same way. Each second might seem insignificant on its own, but strung together, they create the story of your life. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. Will you let these seconds slip away, or will you invest them in your future? Will you spend them moving toward your goals, or will you spend them standing still? The clock is ticking. Those 86,400 seconds are being deposited into your account right now. How will you spend them? Small actions taken consistently hold more power than grand gestures made once in a while. I've seen this truth play out countless times across every field of human endeavor. It's not the person who works out for 6 hours on January 1st who transforms their health. It's the person who exercises for 20 minutes every single day, without fail. Building a brick wall. 1 brick doesn't seem like much. 10 bricks don't make much of a wall. But 1 brick, laid perfectly every single day, eventually creates something substantial. Your daily actions work exactly the same way. Take Benjamin Franklin's morning routine. He didn't try to conquer the world before breakfast. Instead, he asked himself one simple question each morning: what good shall I do today? Then he spent 1 hour reading or writing. 1 hour, that's all. But he did it every single day, and those hours added up to make him one of history's most accomplished individuals. Consider Thomas Edison's approach to innovation. He didn't try to invent something remarkable every day. Instead, he committed to making one small improvement to his current project each morning. Sometimes it was just tightening a screw or adjusting a wire. But those tiny improvements, compounded over time, led to inventions that changed the world. I know a salesman who transformed his career with one small action. Every morning before checking his email or returning calls, he spent 15 minutes writing thank you notes to clients. Just 15 minutes, just 2 or 3 notes. His colleagues thought it was a waste of time. But after a year, he had sent over 700 personal notes. His client retention rate doubled. His referrals tripled. Small action, massive results. The power of small actions lies in their repeatability. Anyone can make a massive effort once. Anyone can work for 12 hours straight on an inspired day. But small actions done consistently create lasting change because you can maintain them forever. Consider the mathematics of tiny improvements. If you get just 1% better each day, you'll be 37 times better by the end of the year. Not 37% better, 37 times better. That's the magic of compound growth. Each small improvement builds on all the previous ones, creating exponential results. I met a writer who wanted to write a book but couldn't find the time with her full-time job and family responsibilities. Instead of waiting for the perfect opportunity, she decided to write 100 words every morning while her coffee brewed. Just 100 words. It seemed insignificant. But those 100 words added up to 3,000 words per month, 36,000 words per year. She just published her third book. The key to harnessing the power of small actions is understanding that consistency matters more than intensity. It's better to read 10 pages every day than to read 500 pages once a month. It's better to practice a skill for 15 minutes daily than for 5 hours every Saturday. This principle applies to every area of life. Want to save money? Start with $1 a day. Want to learn a language? Start with one phrase each morning. Want to build better relationships? Make one phone call to a friend or family member daily. These actions might seem too small to matter, but they create momentum. And momentum is unstoppable. A train starting its journey. Those first few feet require enormous energy. But once the train builds momentum, it becomes nearly unstoppable. Your small daily actions work the same way. The hardest part is starting. But once you build momentum through consistent action, success becomes almost inevitable. Small actions also have another hidden benefit. They bypass your brain's resistance to change. Your mind won't fight against reading one page, doing one push-up, or saving $1. But those small actions open the door to doing more. Often you'll find yourself exceeding your minimal daily commitment simply because you started. Remember, mountains are climbed one step at a time. Books are written one word at a time. Fortunes are built $1 at a time. Your life changes one small action at a time. The size of your action doesn't matter nearly as much as the consistency with which you take it. Look at your life right now. What small action could you take today and every day that would move you toward your goals? Don't worry about whether it seems significant enough. Focus instead on whether you can do it consistently, day after day, without fail. That's where the real power lies. Life doesn't unfold in a straight line. Every path to success comes with its share of obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Right now, some of you might be thinking, that's fine for others, but my situation is different. My obstacles are too big, my challenges are too real. I want to tell you about Robert, a man I met in Phoenix. He lost his job of 15 years when his company downsized. At 52 years old, with 2 kids in college and a mortgage to pay, he faced what seemed like an impossible situation. Most people would have given up. Most people would have said, I'm too old to start over. But Robert understood something crucial about obstacles. They're not stop signs, they're guidelines. They show us where we need to grow, what we need to learn, what we need to overcome. Instead of seeing his job loss as an ending, he saw it as an opening. He took his severance pay and invested it in learning digital marketing, a field he knew nothing about. Was it easy? No. Did he want to quit? Every single day. For 3 months, he struggled to understand concepts that seemed to come naturally to people half his age. But he kept going. He didn't try to learn everything at once. He focused on mastering one small concept each day. When he felt overwhelmed, he reminded himself, I don't have to figure it all out today. I just have to figure out this one thing. Today, Robert runs a successful digital marketing agency, employing 12 people, including some of his former co-workers who also lost their jobs. His setback became his setup for a comeback. That's the thing about challenges. They reveal what we're capable of. They show us strengths we didn't know we had. But here's what most people get wrong about overcoming obstacles. They think they need to wait until they feel ready. They think they need to wait until they feel confident. They wait for fear to go away. The truth is, fear never goes away. Doubt never completely disappears. The successful people I've studied over the decades didn't succeed because they felt no fear. They succeeded because they acted despite their fear. They understood that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the triumph over it. Every morning brings its own set of challenges. Sometimes they're external, a missed deadline, a difficult client, an unexpected bill. Sometimes they're internal, self-doubt, fear of failure, lack of motivation. The key isn't to avoid these challenges or wait until they disappear. The key is to build your mental resilience, one day at a time. Think of mental resilience like a muscle. You don't build physical muscles by lifting weights once. You build them through consistent training, gradually increasing the weight. Your mental strength works the same way. Each time you face a challenge and push through it, you get stronger. Each time you experience a setback and keep going, your resilience grows. I met a woman named Patricia who started a small bakery business. Her first major order was for a wedding cake. The night before the wedding, her refrigerator broke down. The cake was ruined. She had every reason to give up right there. Instead, she spent all night baking a new cake. She didn't sleep. She didn't rest. She just kept going. That incident taught her the importance of having backup plans. Now she has contingency plans for everything. What seemed like a disaster became a valuable lesson that made her business stronger. That's what resilient people do. They don't just overcome obstacles, they learn from them. Here's what I want you to understand about daily challenges. They're not your enemy, they're your training ground. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Every setback is a setup for growth. When you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What opportunity is hidden within this obstacle? These questions transform your relationship with challenges. They turn barriers into bridges. But remember this, you don't have to overcome every challenge perfectly. You don't have to handle every setback gracefully. Some days, just continuing to move forward is enough. Some days, simply refusing to give up is your victory. Mental resilience isn't built through grand gestures or momentous occasions. It's built through small victories, through daily choices to keep going when giving up would be easier. It's built by getting up one more time than you fall down. The challenges you face today are building the strength you'll need for tomorrow. The obstacles in your path are not there to stop you. They're there to point you in a new direction, to force you to find a better way, to make you stronger than you were before. Success isn't an accident. It's not a matter of luck or chance. Success is a system. Once you understand this truth, everything changes. Every successful person I've studied over the years has developed their own system, a set of daily habits, routines, and practices that virtually guarantee their progress. Now, I'm going to share with you the fundamental elements of creating your own success system. This isn't complicated. It doesn't require special talents or extraordinary abilities. What it does require is your commitment to following it every single day. Start with your morning routine. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. I know a banker who transformed his life by creating what he calls his power hour. He wakes up at 5 a.m., not because he enjoys early mornings, but because he understands the value of uninterrupted time. The first 20 minutes, he reads something educational. The next 20 minutes, he reviews his goals and plans his day. The final 20 minutes, he exercises. Simple? Yes. Powerful? Absolutely. Your success system needs 3 key components: clarity, structure, and measurement. Let's start with clarity. You must know exactly what you want to achieve, not vague wishes like more money or better health. You need specific, measurable targets. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, say, I want to increase my income by $2,000 per month through my side business. I met a teacher who wanted to write a book. For years, she said, I want to be an author. Nothing happened. Then she got specific. I will write a 300-page mystery novel, completing 3 pages each day. Within 4 months, she had her first draft. Clarity made the difference. Structure, the backbone of your success system. Structure means organizing your time and energy for maximum effectiveness. Think of your day as a series of blocks. Some blocks are for creation, others for maintenance, others for growth. The most successful people I know divide their day into focused blocks of time. They don't try to multitask. They don't leave their schedule to chance. They decide in advance how they'll spend their time, and they stick to that decision. Here's a simple but powerful structure. Divide your day into 3 parts. Your morning block is for your most important work, the tasks that move you toward your biggest goals. Your midday block is for responding to others and handling necessary tasks. Your evening block is for learning, planning, and preparing for tomorrow. But remember this, a structure that works for someone else might not work for you. The key is to create a system that fits your life, your goals, and your natural rhythms. If you're most creative at night, schedule your important work then. If you think best in the afternoon, that's when you should tackle your challenging tasks. Next comes measurement, the factor that turns a good system into a great one. You must track your progress every day. What gets measured gets improved. I know a salesman who keeps a simple scorecard. Each day he tracks 3 numbers: calls made, meetings scheduled, and sales closed. Just 3 numbers. But those numbers tell him exactly where he stands and what he needs to adjust. Your success system should include daily reviews. Take 5 minutes each evening to ask yourself, what worked today? What didn't? What will I do differently tomorrow? These 5 minutes of reflection are often more valuable than hours of unfocused action. Time management isn't about squeezing more activities into your day. It's about investing your time wisely. Think of your time like your money. Would you spend money without knowing what you're buying? Would you invest money without tracking the returns? Of course not. Treat your time with the same respect. Here's a technique I've seen work wonders. The success hour. Choose 1 hour each day, just 1 hour, and make it sacred. During this hour, you work solely on your most important goal. No phone, no email, no interruptions. 1 focused hour can accomplish more than several scattered hours. Goal setting within your system must be both ambitious and realistic. Set targets that stretch you but don't break you. I recommend using what I call the stepping stone method. Instead of focusing on your final goal, focus on the next achievable step. Want to run a marathon? Your first goal is running 1 mile. Want to build a business? Your first goal is making 1 sale. Your system should also include what I call success triggers, specific actions that automatically lead to positive results. For example, laying out your exercise clothes the night before triggers your morning workout. Keeping a bottle of water on your desk triggers regular hydration. Small triggers lead to consistent actions, and consistent actions lead to success. Remember this, your success system isn't set in stone. It's a living thing that grows and evolves with you. What works today might need adjustment tomorrow. The key is to stay flexible while maintaining your core habits. Review your system every month. Are you making progress? Are your habits serving you? Are your goals still aligned with your vision? Make adjustments as needed, but never abandon the fundamental principle. Success comes from consistent, purposeful action guided by a well-designed system. No one succeeds alone. Every action you take, every improvement you make sends ripples far beyond your own life. When you choose to be better today than you were yesterday, you're not just lifting yourself, you're lifting everyone around you. I witnessed this truth through the story of Michael, a middle manager at a manufacturing plant. He decided to change one simple thing, his response to problems. Instead of reacting with frustration, he started asking, "What can we learn from this?" At first, it seemed like such a small change, but watch what happened. His team noticed the difference. They started bringing problems to him earlier, before they became crises. They began asking that same question themselves. Within 6 months, the department reduced errors by 60%. Other departments started asking what they were doing differently. Soon, the entire plant adopted this approach to problems. But the ripple didn't stop there. His employees took this mindset home. One worker's daughter started using it with her schoolwork. A supervisor applied it to his community volunteer work. That one person's decision to improve himself transformed hundreds of lives. Every person you interact with today will interact with many others. Your attitude, your words, your actions, they're all contagious. When you choose patience over anger, understanding over judgment, growth over stagnation, you're teaching others to do the same. And I know a teacher who committed to greeting each student by name every morning. Simple, right? But one of those students told me years later, that was the first time I felt truly seen at school. That student became a teacher herself. Now she greets her own students the same way. Imagine how many lives will be touched by that one simple choice. Your personal growth creates opportunities for others. When you learn new skills, you become capable of teaching them. When you overcome challenges, you become able to guide others through similar struggles. When you achieve goals, you show others what's possible. Consider Sarah, a mother who decided to start exercising every morning. She didn't make a big announcement. She didn't try to convince anyone else to join her. She just got up 30 minutes earlier and went for a walk. 3 months later, her teenage daughter started joining her, then her husband, then 2 neighbors. Today, there's a whole group of people in her neighborhood who walk together every morning. Building positive relationships multiplies your impact. Every person you encourage, every connection you strengthen, becomes a new channel for positive change. But here's what most people get wrong about relationships. They think it's about grand gestures. It's not. It's about small, consistent actions. I met a business owner who transformed his company's culture with one rule: acknowledge something positive about each person you work with every day. Not empty flattery, genuine appreciation. The change wasn't immediate, but it was profound. Morale improved, productivity increased, even customer satisfaction went up because happier employees created better experiences. Your impact goes beyond what you can see. The person you encourage today might go on to encourage 10 others. The wisdom you share might be passed down through generations. The example you set might inspire someone you'll never meet. The last time someone believed in you, supported you, showed you a better way, how did that change your life? Now think about this. You have the power to be that person for others. Every time you choose growth, you make it easier for others to choose growth too. This is why personal improvement is never just personal. When you strengthen your patience, you strengthen your family's harmony. When you develop your skills, you increase your team's capabilities. When you grow your courage, you expand others' sense of what's possible. But remember this: creating positive ripples doesn't require you to be perfect. It doesn't require you to have it all figured out. It simply requires you to be moving in the right direction, one step at a time, and to be willing to share your journey with others. Your life touches others in ways you may never know. The improvements you make today could echo through generations. The habits you build could become a legacy that outlives you. The changes you make could start a chain reaction that transforms countless lives. This is the true power of personal growth, not just what it does for you, but what it does through you. Every step forward you take makes it easier for others to step forward too. Every barrier you break down makes the path smoother for those who follow. The time for action is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more ready. Right now. In the next few minutes, you're going to take 3 specific steps that will set your success in motion. First, take out a piece of paper. You're going to create what I call a Power 3 list. Write down the 3 most important actions you can take today, not tomorrow, not someday today, that will move you closer to your goals. Make them specific. Instead of work on my business, write call 5 potential customers. Instead of get healthy, write walk for 20 minutes after dinner. I watched a struggling real estate agent transform her business with this simple technique. Her Power 3 for day 1, call 2 past clients for referrals, spend 30 minutes studying market trends, and visit 1 open house in her target neighborhood. Small actions, but they created momentum. Within 3 months, she doubled her sales. Second, you're going to create instant accountability. Tell someone else what you're going to do. Not what you hope to do or plan to do, what you will do. Call a friend right now, send a text, post it online. When you make your intentions public, you create a gentle pressure to follow through. I know an artist who posted on social media, "I will create 1 small painting every day for 30 days. She wasn't looking for attention. She was creating accountability. Those posts became her commitment. Even on days when she didn't feel inspired, she showed up because she knew people were watching. Third, you're going to set up your environment for tomorrow's success. Take 10 minutes right now to prepare for tomorrow morning. Lay out your exercise clothes if you plan to work out. Put that book you want to read on your breakfast table. Clear your desk if you need to focus on work. Think of it like setting a trap for your future self. A positive trap that makes it easier to do the right thing. A banker I know puts his running shoes by his bed every night. In the morning, they're the first thing he sees. It's harder to skip his morning run when those shoes are staring at him. But here's the key to taking action. Start small, incredibly small. So small it seems almost meaningless. Want to write a book? Start with one sentence. Want to get in shape? Start with one push-up. Want to build a business? Make one call. These tiny actions might seem insignificant, but they serve a crucial purpose. They break the spell of inaction. They move you from thinking about doing to actually doing. Once you start moving, continuing becomes easier. Remember this, action creates clarity. You don't need to see the whole path to take the first step. Each action you take reveals the next step. Each step you take makes the path clearer. I met a woman who wanted to start her own business but felt overwhelmed by all the things she didn't know. Instead of waiting until she had all the answers, she took one small action. She called one potential customer. That conversation led to her first sale, which led to her first referral, which led to her first employee. Step by step, action by action, her path became clear. Before this day ends, you must take these 3 steps. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for confidence. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions don't exist. The only perfect moment is now. Your actions today create your reality tomorrow. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you forward. Every action you take, no matter how simple, builds momentum. Every decision you make, no matter how minor, shapes your future. The time is now, the person is you, the action awaits. What will you do with this moment? Time moves forward whether we choose to move with it or not. The sun will rise tomorrow, bringing with it another 24 hours of opportunity. The only question that matters is, what will you do with those hours? You've heard about the power that lies within each day. You've learned about the 86,400 seconds that arrive fresh each morning, waiting to be invested in your future. You understand now that every single day presents a new opportunity to be better, not just better in your circumstances, but better in your character, better in your actions, better in your impact on others. This isn't about making sweeping changes or dramatic transformations. It's about making one better choice, taking one better action, being 1 degree better today than you were yesterday. That's all it takes to start. One choice, one action, one step forward. Now, I've shared stories with you of ordinary people who grasped this truth and used it to transform their lives. They weren't special. They weren't gifted with extraordinary talents or blessed with unusual opportunities. They simply understood that success is built day by day, choice by choice, action by action. Right now, in this moment, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to more of the same, more procrastination, more unfulfilled potential, more waiting for the perfect moment. The other path leads to growth, to achievement, to becoming the person you're capable of being. The choice is yours. But understand this. Not choosing is still a choice. Every moment you wait is a moment lost forever. Every day you postpone taking action is a day's worth of opportunities that will never return. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, you'll have a decision to make. Will you start your day with purpose, or will you let it slip away? Will you invest your time in your growth, or will you spend it on things that don't matter? Will you move forward, or will you stand still? The answer to these questions will determine not just your tomorrow, but all your tomorrows to come. Because success isn't an event. It's a habit. It's the habit of choosing growth over comfort, action over hesitation, progress over perfection. Your next choice awaits. Your next action beckons. Your next opportunity stands before you, ready to be seized. The time is now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Take that first step, make that first choice, start that first action. Because when tomorrow's sun rises, bringing another day of opportunity, you'll either be better prepared to seize it, or you'll be exactly where you are right now. The choice is yours. The time is now. Take action.